Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name is Kevin.
I'm Mark.
I'm Justin.
And we are getting back together. I feel like it's been a long time since we recorded, guys.
It does. This bi-weekly thing separates it.
Yeah, it really spreads it out. It makes life planning a little bit easier, but that means we drink beer less frequently together.
Yes.
It makes me a little sad.
Well, our livers are probably a little bit better off for it.
It's a long play game. That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll be able to drink together longer because one of us won't get cirrhosis.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. Today we have the ProAm beers. The ProAm beers that were brewed at Blue Point Brewing Company. These are the results from are these LIBE?
Yes.
Beers? Yeah. Okay. So the Long Island Beer and Malt Enthusiasts, of which Mark and Justin are members,
Yes.
have this competition. These are the results of the chop beers?
Well, no. One of them is a chop beer.
Okay.
And the other two are beers that won the Pro-Am competition. So
Okay.
the idea is that Blue Point was kind enough to partner with LIBE and allow us to run a standard BJCP competition for club members only. And whatever
the winner of said competition would have their beer brewed at Blue Point.
Exactly.
So the first one that we have is called Lazy Lager.
Yes.
It comes in at 5.1% ABV. This is batch number 16 we get this can from.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
that is
who made
exactly.
this
I think it's the
Canning batch or something because they
I
only
think
brewed one batch.
no. I think it's batch number 16 that they brewed at River
Oh,
Avenue. Not River Avenue.
At the new,
So it's at Briarcliff.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. Briarcliff. I can't think of it.
Because I noticed yesterday on my way home from there that they still have like the Briarcliff College, like green college signs pointing at the building and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I'm pretty sure
I was
that
like,
they're down.
I wonder how long. Yeah, it's like I wonder how long those are going to be up before they get taken down.
So whose was this? I always forget.
Jim Mangiello.
Yes.
All
Yes, exactly.
Well, Jim has put out a crystal clear, lovely straw yellow color lager that has a lot of bubbles out of it.
When I look at it from the bottom, I have a nice little covering of bubbles. It's what I would imagine would look like if you were drowning and dying. Like that, you can see all the way from the bottom of the glass up to the bottom of the bubbles, like you were looking down at the top of the bubbles. It's really cool.
But the clarity is really awesome on it. I mean, the aroma kind of comes off just your classic lager aroma.
Yeah,
There's,
it's a classic American lager.
yeah, it smells like anything else that you've had. If you've had a lager, you know the smell.
Yeah, it's the one thing that it isn't to me a classic lager is the bitterness. I think is a little sharper and more pronounced, but I like it more because it sort of cleanses the palate even more. The beer itself is actually fairly corny sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has that little bit of the corn flavor. The finish on it almost comes off kind of like a good Pilsner would.
It's funny you should say that because
It,
a lot of people were saying it's more Pilsner, like a hoppier Pilsner than a lot that's again, beer nerd style
Splitting hairs.
wise. Exactly
Yeah.
splitting hairs. So that was good, but I think you're spot on.
yeah, I mean, to me, if you didn't say, hey, you didn't tell me lager right off the bat, I'd be like, oh, this was a really good Pils. I like this. And I still continue to like it. I think it's a clean, classic lager that's tasty. You can get behind this.
Head retention's pretty sick on it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be the way I poured. I poured gently or something. I don't have much of a head on mine. But and I honestly I don't think I know who Jim is, but apparently when he shows up, he has something very good.
All right.
Well, he finished second to Mark and I when the next beer when we won.
Yeah.
So he almost went back to back.
Yeah. I wonder what the I'm sure you use a classic American hop in it, but there's a little bit of tingliness, a little spiciness in there that maybe he did go with a noble hop in there.
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is great. It's great beer, and I'm really surprised that I'm gonna say I'm surprised that it's a home brewer, but after having drank so many home brews from so many of these guys, I'm not surprised like that. But that this is the kind of thing that you just go this is the kind of beer that when a homebrewer makes it and you hand it to someone who hasn't had a lot of homebrew, they get really surprised and go, "Holy crap, you can make this?
Right.
Like this is what you can do at home?"
This tastes like the stuff from the store.
Yeah, like this tastes like it was made by a giant corporation. Like, yeah, except it's even better because the guy made it there, and it's hasn't been homogenized and used with all this other kind of weird crap in it and everything else. Like, it's something different. But does that make sense to you guys?
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
No,
Exactly.
and I had a fair amount of that because I want to rebrew the Lichtenhainer again, and I still had a lot left in my keg. So I brought the keg to work on Friday.
Okay,
And,
there you go.
A lot of my
It's a good way to make casual.
Yeah.
Make casual Friday extra casual Friday.
a lot of my coworkers are like, "You made this?" I'm like, "Yes."
There you go.
To be fair, though, it's a Lichtenhainer, so they might have been like, "You made this?" I'm
On
sure.
purpose?
No, I'm sure they weren't, but it was. We'll get more to the Lichtenhainer in a minute. Obviously, that's spoiler alert. That's beer number 2 for anybody who hasn't been listening to us battle on for the last couple of months talking about it.
So, are we gonna rate these as we normally would rate them?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go for the lazy lager. I'm gonna go with a growler on the lazy lager. Like, party beer.
Yeah.
Hang out, drink this, substitute it out instead of High Life. I'll drink this instead. Be awesome.
I mean, for me, quality-wise, this beer is outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, it is flawless. So, for my personal preference, it would be a bomber. I think that after that, I'd probably move on to something else or kind of mix it up. But from a quality standpoint, this is, I mean, anybody who entered against this and lost the Pro-Am, like when he won,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you had no shot. This was money.
I'm with Kevin on this. It's definitely a solid growler for me. It's really crisp, very drinkable, and a growler is a easily doable quantity.
As we're coming up to that large football game to be played.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yay.
Yeah, we don't want to be sued.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to. That would need someone
Yeah,
to listen
that'd be
to it.
amazing. That'd be amazing.
Please send us a cease and desist,
Yeah.
please.
I'll frame that shit.
But yeah, like this would be the perfect beer to be hanging out with for any party. You bring it to it, no one would complain.
No, nobody would. Speaking of going to a party and nobody complaining, I think the second one here we're going to drink, the Lichtenhainer,
Right.
is while it's Mark and I think one of your little special pet beers. I think that a lot of people, I thought that a lot of people would find it odd,
Right.
and I'm sure some people did. And I didn't look it on tap today at all. But and oh yeah, we might as well say this is the day after the release of these beers. Blue Point was kind enough to tack a little party onto the
Run to the brewery.
run to the brewery so that we could release these beers, and they had a big band and everything. It was cool.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a tasting room until
April-ish
Spring.
or something.
Gotcha.
But while we were there, obviously we got to hear people order this beer, which
Yeah.
we made.
What do you want? I want the
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, people kept like a couple people. I heard them coming back, like, "Oh, you want that again?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh wow!" The guy had 2 of them. Holy shit! The only comment that Mark had told me about it on tap was somebody said something about kielbasa or some shit.
Yeah, there's a couple of good.
All right,
things
so
on
we
the
gotta
tap
we
that
gotta
I was-
look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna go to
Please
those
pull that
later.
up.
That's fine. So, Mark, give everybody a little. While you're looking that up, I'll give everybody a little background on the Lichtenhainer itself. So,
Okay.
for a little recap for those who don't know, Mark and I brewed this Lichtenhainer for the Blue Point Cast Festival last year because I was a silly boy and signed us up for a Firkin. And then Mark was like, "Hey, there's this fucked up historical thing that I've been wanting to do. You want to make this?" Because we were going to make a Blinnerweiss, which is like kind of sort of Blinnerweiss. And we decided to make it. And lo and behold, we end up winning a Pro-Am with this bizarre thing and a bunch of other ribbons with it.
Yeah,
It's apparently going to be a staple at the Williams household. So.
indeed.
So give one more time. Can you pull up like what like the standard profile of a Lichtenhainer would be, or just kind of tell us like what it would be again?
I think the best way to say it is a smoky Berliner Weiss. So
Okay.
it has acidic tartness, not aggressive, but up front it's there,
Right.
and then it fades into a balanced, equally strong smoke character.
Okay.
That would be the idea.
Yeah, according to the BJCP, like the overall impression is a sour, smoked, lower gravity historical German wheat beer, complex yet refreshing character due to high attenuation and carbonation, along with low bitterness and moderate sourness.
I just want to backtrack 1 second. When you say attenuation, that's how much of the sugar is in it get processed, right?
Yeah, right. How
Okay.
much of the sugar is converted to
Get
alcohol?
converted. Okay.
Right. So
I
it would
just want to
be,
make sure I had the definition of that right in my head.
yeah, which means it would be on the drier side.
Right.
You don't want it to be sweet.
So, just for a visual, because you guys can't see it.
Unless you watch the videos, people start watching
So
the
there's some
video.
videos
Make Mark's
that you
life
can
worthwhile.
It's a really nice golden color.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing to me is the clarity on this.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely still has a haze to it, but in comparison to the homebrew version,
Yeah.
this is a crystal ball.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it just shows you what a centrifuge can do, even when you put a shitload of wheat and rye into something.
But yeah, it's a really lovely golden color, and the clarity is very nice on it. So the aroma is, you get a little bit of yeastiness, little smoky kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, I get mostly smoke for mine, and which is interesting because flavor-wise, I've had a bunch of this, so I don't really need to drink it to describe it. But it to me the smokiness is less powerful than the tartness, but it still cleans it nicely. Other people actually taste it the opposite. I think Mark is the opposite.
I like sour and smoky is definitely not for everybody, but I really like the way that they go together. And
That just went down the wrong pipe. It wasn't
This beer style?
It wasn't anything else.
because it's got, in addition to the sour and the smokiness, it also has like a fair amount of fruitiness to it too, like lemon and there's the cherry smoked malt in there, so it does have some fruity notes to it as well.
I'm definitely getting lemon. The sour kind of tartness is like sour apple kind of tartness.
Yes.
I think that's really present. And then, you know what it comes off like? Almost like applewood smoked bacon.
That's interesting.
No.
I'm saying that because I tend to agree with you. But
So, like, if you actually get a really good chunk of, like, slab applewood smoked bacon, you can taste apple in that smoke. And you get the little bit of the fattiness to it. But that's not what you get here. But that kind of a little bit of appley flavor, that kind of smoke. The smoke is really gentle. And I think in this version, the smoke is a lot more mellow than I remember it being in the other version that you guys have made.
Yeah, I definitely think the smoke is more subdued in this
And-
version.
I like this version a lot better. I'm sorry. I'm not trying. Again, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, this one, I can get behind a lot more. But saying that it's a smoked Berliner now really gets that. If you like that young tart sourness, and you want a little bit of that curveball, a little bit of smoke in there, then this is really a great beer for that.
yeah, I think that, in a way, I said to other people yesterday, anybody because it was weird. Newsday did an article, and Mark and I were interviewed for it.
Yeah, it was. I read the article.
Yeah, it was weird that people would come up and go, "Oh, I saw the article that you guys were in, so I wanted to come down and taste your beer." Like two different people said that to me.
Which I will say is probably because the article was not the greatest print.
No, actually, I thought they did a pretty good job. It was fairly accurate.
I don't know. I read it and I was just kind of like, that's not what that's about at all. Like, I don't know. I kind of felt it. I felt it didn't really portray like what. I don't know. It just felt like it was disjointed, the article when I read it.
Yeah, I mean,
admittedly, I read it on the shitter quickly, so maybe it was just that it was preoccupied.
yeah, maybe you were pushing a little bit. Your brain wasn't quite focused. No, I thought it was pretty decent, and the funny thing is, everyone was like, "Oh my god, I was so excited about this particular beer style because she kind of made it about that because it's so strange."
Yeah. No, it's. I keep coming back to that like fruit smoked kind of feel to it. I mean, it's tasty, and I really like this version of it.
What do you think in comparison to the original? Would you prefer the one that we had entered versus this one, or I'm just curious? I'm on the fence actually. I see the benefits of both.
Well, I think the sourness on this is definitely higher and the smoke is more subdued, and I think that might just be because, we brewed it back in November and we're now mid-January.
Yeah.
So, the smokiness may have
Dissipated a little bit.
In those intervening months.
Right.
But no, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I would honestly would have liked it to have been a little bit more sour, but otherwise I'm happy with it.
I could see, knowing your personal preferences, I could see how you want it to be more sour, but I think the amount of sour that's there is to the point where it's not turning my cheeks inside out yet, which I know is what you always want. But it's still refreshing in the amount of sour that's there. So for me, I really appreciate the more middle road of it. So, I mean, you guys can't really give it a rating.
I could definitely give it a rating.
You're going to give it a rating?
I
Okay,
am
I want
sure
to hear your rating.
For me, this is going to be I'm going to go growler. Like, I'm between a bomber and a growler, to be honest on it, in terms of how much I want to drink in one sitting.
Right.
I really enjoy it. Most of the reason I enjoy it is because it shouldn't work.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I'm pretty sure the original style was like that because they couldn't stop things from getting sour or stop things from getting smoky, and they just kind of went with it. Like, you know what I mean? So
okay, let's roll.
It wasn't like someone chose to do it. And now that we did choose to do it, it's crazy how well it actually works. And that's 99% of the reason why I really enjoy it. I also enjoy drinking it, but it would not be something I would drink all the time every day.
Yeah.
Like I had back-to-back pints of it yesterday, and it was definitely a little bit much for the palate, especially, not having any food with it.
Mm.
I think this is a really good beverage to have some tasty food with. A lot of different things I think pair well with it.
With the food idea, like, I mean, initially I want to say go with smoked foods, go with have it with barbecue, but I think it would just kind of like be doubling down on the same flavor, so but definitely something with a strong flavor profile would stand up to it. So maybe you go with something rich and fatty,
right? That's what I was thinking.
But not necessarily smoked. That would go with it. So maybe like a good pork roast.
I think it'd also be good to cook some seafood with it.
Yeah, I think you could get some interesting flavors with it with seafood. For me, I'm going to go with a bomber on this because after the second pint of it, the smoke kind of would overwhelm me, and then I'd want to go to something else. But I love the amount of sour on this one is like spot on. Like drink it all day, right amount of sour.
Oh yeah, and I should also say when we made the original at that time, I didn't have a pH meter, so I couldn't actually
figure
keep
out
tabs on it.
Yeah.
Like I just tasted it. I'm like, yeah, that tastes pretty sour.
Right.
It's good.
So when we tried to translate it to the brewery, it was kind of like,
what kind of TA do you shoot for? I'm like, I'm a home brewer. I haven't spent $2,500 on a titratable acidity setup.
Yeah.
So do you know what the pH was on this one?
Nope.
No idea?
No
Nothing.
idea.
Okay.
Got nothing.
Well, whatever it is, I think this is the spot on level of sour for.
They were like,
for this style, for like Berliner Weiss style, for like
what's your barometer? I'm like, you know what? Like probably a little more sour than your peach bone goes up.
There you go.
More sour than that.
There you go. That's a good, which is another great beer.
Oh yeah.
That's a really tasty beer. So if you haven't had this one, which is shame on you, you should have been there at the party and picked it up, or go over there and pick some up if they still have it.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait until tasting room opens for them to sell any more of it.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately.
So
we'll let you know.
See, I'm sure we'll keep you posted.
I know a bunch of them were sold yesterday because people were coming up to me and like, I bought your beer. Like, after you sleep, people were so hammered it was crazy. I'm like, I want to know if you really like it. Can you call me tomorrow?
So Mark, where are you standing on this? How many of these? What's your rating on here?
It's
on
a
your
10
own
for me. Like this style of beer is like, I love it.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time.
In my mouth all the time.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. But yeah, this was really tasty, and I was and I really like, this version of it is really fantastic, guys. So great job, kudos to both of you. If I could reach you both, I would pat you both on the back at the same time, but I can't. My arms are not that long.
One thing is, Blue Point was obviously nice enough to do this for all the beers, but this beer in particular, we literally held their entire system up for 2 days because they had the kettle sour, so it sat in their mash tun for 2 days, meaning they could not mash in another beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That is quite a gift of them. Then.
Yes.
So which I'm sure they will not be doing with the sour again, but hey, why not? Thank you. Yours got in.
Exactly. So no, it was really cool. It was a fun day. We did talk about it before, so you can go back.
Yeah, that was also I think partly due to the fact that the species of lactobacillus that I generally use at home,
okay,
no labs, make commercial pitches.
Okay. So did you just use your own strain? Like,
No, so
did it come out of the cone?
No, they used.
Delbertii, right?
I thought it was Brevis.
No, it was Brevis. You're right. That's what
They used Lactobacillus brevis instead of Lactobacillus plantarum, and
Okay.
Brevis doesn't sour as fast,
Okay.
which is another
Why
part
it
of the
took that
reason why
long.
it took longer.
So just out of curiosity, look on the can. What batch number says on that?
That's a good question,
No,
actually,
it-
because ours
I
was
think
brewed
it's 16 or 14.
14. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I was pretty sure he brewed his before us. So maybe it's release, not when it was brewed. Maybe it's in terms
That's
of when
going
it was
out the
canned
door,
or
not
something.
goes in.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes more sense, actually.
Yeah, because obviously the canning process is going to be the last one, so they're not keeping track of that shit through the labels.
Yeah. All right. So we're on to the last one now.
Well, let me.
Oh, sorry.
So as far as Untapped goes, we're sitting at 3 and 3
I'm going
quarters.
to crack this one while we're waiting.
Yeah, go ahead. We're at 3 and 3 quarters, and some choice comments are. So again, they had their run to the brewery yesterday, and one guy said, "Should beer taste like kielbasa?"
I love that guy.
That's not even that off. I can't even be angry at it.
And there was another guy. Let's see. Where is that one? Yeah, absolutely not what I wanted after a cold 10-mile run.
That's fair. That's fair too.
That's tremendous. I love that guy.
You know
What did
what?
he give it though, star-wise? Because the Kielbasa dude still gave it like 3 stars.
I don't think he actually rated it
Oh.
because I don't see a rating.
So he reversed Brad at us. Brad wanted rating. He wanted feedback, a rating, and a feedback. He gets mad when people only give a rating.
Yeah.
But this guy only gave feedback. So maybe he's, that's like the
Maybe it was
best thing to
Brad.
do. Maybe it was. Good pin.
There you go. That's Brad's secret account, by the way. Don't,
Yeah.
No one go over there and start bothering with him. No, I could understand how after doing a physical activity and going to have a beer that beer might kind of throw you off a little.
Especially when there's no description. It's like you went to a place and you see a board
Yeah.
and you read the board and you go, I don't know, I guess I'll give that a shot.
Right.
It literally just says 3.7% alcohol after the word Lich King.
Yeah.
So someone's like, oh man, someone's super into the World of Warcraft and like
Yeah.
just order the beer.
Right.
That's why I was, I wish that we could have stood by the line more or overheard more people drinking because I'm sure there were similar comments occurring
Yeah.
all over the place. What was that? Were those the 2 choice ones?
Yeah, like somebody else who's obviously much more well drunk,
Yeah.
like, complimented very good, but he's like, it's definitely for like more advanced beer drinkers.
Okay. That's
And
fair
then
too.
somebody else was like, sour and smoky, an odd combo, but I dig it.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay,
cool.
so
Yeah.
I think that's like the perfect line that you're looking for there.
Yeah.
Someone to recognize, hey, these are the 2 major elements of it, and I still dig it.
That was the overall impression. The other fun thing was for anybody who was like ordering it to like turn around and tell them that we made it,
Yeah.
and then to immediately get uncomfortable about drinking it in front of us. That was also a lot of fun. Especially the guy in front of us who was hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Hammered.
Yeah.
And he turns around, I don't know what he even said to us, to be honest with you, because I was like discounting him as a human.
Yeah.
And then I go, he goes, what are you guys going to get? Like, we're going to get the Lich King because we brewed it. He goes, oh, I'm going to have to try that. And then I thought that he didn't.
Yeah.
After he told what it was, but he ordered 2 beers, and one of them was that
Yeah.
beer. So good.
So the last one that we
Is
have
it
here.
you? Me? Where's my phone? Oh.
I don't think it was me.
No, it's not you. Mine makes
Mine doesn't make
noise.
that noise.
Yeah.
So the last one we have, that's the lazy lager.
No,
can.
it's over there.
That's over there. Is Black Magic, right?
Yes.
Justin, when you're done, texting your boyfriend.
Actually, that's literally what I was doing.
Pete?
No.
Oh.
Uh,
No, you and Pete are not together anymore.
we're on hiatus.
Okay,
We had a little spat.
you were on a break.
It's 8.7%.
8.7.
This one is the chopped beer. Adam and Bill Weiss made this.
Okay.
It's Belgian strong ale. I'm not going to say whether it's dark or light because I don't know. And it's dark in color because it's added coffee and there's also coconut.
Okay. Well, it's definitely dark. It's a dark amber, light brown kind of color. You can still see through it. Light. It's light enough in that sense, and maybe it's the wonderful new lighting that Mark has put in here. But you can definitely see through it.
Yeah. We'd like to thank all of our Patreon members for buying us these lights. Nope. You guys didn't do shit.
You guys don't exist.
We don't even have a Patreon.
We do. I just never put it anywhere.
Oh, well, that doesn't help.
Well, obviously. I feel bad asking people to give us money for this shit.
The smell is like classic Belgian kind of smell.
Yeah, it's a lot more for me on the
Candy
banana level than than other Belgians.
Yeah, it's definitely the banana esters to it, but I always dig that smell, man. Like I could just huff that smell all day.
I like it, but I prefer the clove end.
Yeah.
So I kind of want a nice balance from it. But this is for what's in the beer, having banana, being that there's coconut and coffee, like
kind of
things kind of like make more sense than
more tropical. They're in the same belt on the earth. They grow in the same region.
Yeah, they're in the same. Yeah. No.
Latitude.
Yeah, those are okay. All right. I was right. I know which one's longer. Yeah, this is pretty good. I would like a little bit more of the coconut and a little bit less acidity from the coffee, but other than that, I enjoy the beer.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You get a little bit of that coconutty flavor to it. You get some of that candy sweetness in there, and I get a little bit of coffee. I don't get a whole lot of coffee.
I get more coffee than I get coconut.
Yeah, me too.
I've just been kind of taking little dainty sips of it, like a real sip.
You throw it back. You gonna mop it?
No, I'm not gonna unhinge the jaw just yet. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit bigger sip. You get more of the coffee when it really let it roll over your tongue. You get more of that. Tastes kind of like coconut. Yeah, if you told me, I would have found coconut and coffee in here, and you said that that's what's in it, and that's what it is.
I definitely get more coconut in what I'm tasting now than the other cans I've had. On draft yesterday, it was. I mean, that was the best I've had. I mean, stands to reason. It was. It was also obvious. It was a lot colder, which is gonna high flavors more likely. But it was
honestly, yesterday I didn't really taste the smoke much in the late game.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, it was just that cold.
Yeah.
Well, it was cold outside too, so.
Yeah, it was not a warm day.
No. This is kind of interesting. I like it. I'm not against them.
One of the coolest parts is knowing where it came from in the chop competition, where you're pulling random bullshit out of a hat.
Yeah.
Which is rolling up on us again. We'll see how Mark and I get hosed this year, or rather, how Mark fucking walks into the best possible scenario and I get screwed. And I'm not mad about it. It's my life. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I get fucked.
Yeah, it didn't help me at all last year because I didn't know how to carbonate something with keg.
That's all right. You're gonna be deadly this year.
I can get behind this. I mean, I don't think I'm going to want to drink a big volume of it just because the sweetness level of it.
It's also very assertive.
Yeah. The coconut is not. I like coconut, but it's not something that like I want to have the most of. But yeah, I think this is pretty darn good. I like it. Yeah, but Mark, you have any more thoughts on it, or?
No, I will say that I enjoy this a lot more than because at the last LIBE meeting that was held at WA Meatworks, they brought a bunch of these cans for everybody to try at the meeting.
Okay.
And at the meeting, like, I got this really harsh, like, acidic coffee character out of the beer.
Okay.
And I'm not getting that at all out of this can now, so
maybe you just needed a little time to grow up.
To mellow out, but I enjoy this a lot more than I did that sample that I had at the meeting.
I agree with Mark a lot. Yeah. I mean, it felt that way yesterday too on draft, but it was just I thought maybe it was on draft. But I get more coconut in this than I did before. I still want a little bit more for balance, but for a rating, this would probably be a bomber for me. I think the two of them is a good number. I probably would split it up with something because again, very assertive, and it's also, as it should be for the style, it's fairly sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of big maltiness to it.
Right. I like sweet beers. I like coconut candy kind of stuff. Like I love Almond Joy and Mounds and stuff like that. But they are probably the one kind of candy that I can actually like control myself with and eat like just the two pieces of like that come in the candy bar and then walk away from it. And that's kind of where I stand with this too. Like I think I would have the one pint of it, really enjoy that pint, and then be like, you know what, I'm good. Maybe I'll have you next time I come down, but for today, I'm all set with the one pint. And But I mean, again, quality's outstanding. It's a lovely color. But I think just the amount of sweetness for me would make it just one.
Makes sense.
How about you, Mark?
I'm also with you, Kevin. It's definitely a pint for me. Just because the flavors are very strong.
Right.
And I would have a second glass, but I would need to break it up. I couldn't have 2 glasses back to back.
No, actually, going from this to the lazy lager to this, and then back to the lazy lager, like that would be a nice combo.
Yeah, like just
something
intermediary that's a lot lighter on the palate.
Yeah. Or this could be my my last beer.
The dessert, like a dessert beer.
Yeah, almost as dessert instead of hanging out. Just have this at the end of the dinner, like before everyone's kind of like, all right, I think I'm gonna go. Like, or I don't want any of the desserts on the menu. I'll have this. Yeah, I could do that. So, who was these guys again? I'm sorry.
This is Adam and Bill Weiss. Bill was actually on my chop team this past year.
Adam and Bill.
Second. Yeah.
Kudos, great job, guys. If you listen at all, I don't know, but hey, great job. I like the spirit of it.
Yes.
I think Adam does at the very least.
Like I said, to both of you, thank you. These beers, I think it's awesome how big of a spectrum we have on these beers. You have the quintessential American style lager, like in the first one, then you have this really off the wall smoky sour thing, and then you have a very classic style with a weird twist to it. I think it's this is the stuff that makes you love homebrewers.
Yeah.
That you get such a range of things out of it, and the fact that a big brewery, especially for our area, the biggest for our area, to get a chance to do this, on that awesome system that you guys talked about, and to get them released as cans and share with people is just, it's really an incredible one. It speaks to how awesome the brewing community is in the area. So
definitely, and I want to say a big thank you to obviously Blue Point, LIBE as a whole, but especially Greg Kelly and Angela Berto and Chris Dolan and everybody else. Anybody else that I'm unaware how much, Frank, the president, unaware how much you helped. So it was really awesome.
Yeah.
And how.
So fantastic, guys. Again, kudos to you guys for all the awards that you got, and congratulations to everybody else who brewed this stuff. And if you get a chance to put your hands on any of these cans, make sure you do so. Try them out and shoot us a message. Let us know what you think about them. That'd be great. Check out our videos. We have videos out there. We've got all sorts of stuff all around. We are available to be reached almost any way possible. So we'd love to hear from you guys. And I think that's about it. Cheers, everybody.
No, we have listener mail.
We have listener mail. Hooray! Listener mail. Very excited.
So this is actually going back to our end of the year Black Friday vertical episode.
Should we make back in time sounds? Thank you. I'm glad that you knew that. That's what the back in time sound is.
Yep.
So Wizard actually sent us an email, and he says, "Hey guys, thanks for the shout out to the family in your year-end episode. Glad you enjoyed the pancakes. I mean waffles." Because Justin kept saying pancakes.
Yeah, because I don't. Whatever. I'm just a moron. Keep going.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
Carry on.
And the cornbread or coffee cake.
Oh, Jesus. Did I do that one too?
I think so.
Shit. That must have been hashtag episode 2. Ugh.
Looking forward, or should that be listening forward to next year's podcast? Happy New Year. Cheers, Wizard.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Wizard. Cheers. This one's up to you. We'll raise a glass to you and your family. Thank you for, I always see you involved there, and I know you know these guys better, but I definitely at least know you by face, and you seem to be pleasant every time I say hi to you. So,
funny story on a related note. Like yesterday, I finally made waffles with the last of the 2016 bottle.
Yeah.
That was in the beer fridge since then.
Okay.
And while Dorothy was eating the waffle for breakfast, she's like, "These waffles taste like the ones that we had when we went out with Jakey and his parents." And I'm like trying to think of what the hell she's talking about at first. And then I realized she meant the Black Friday thing. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
You're like, yes, daughter, I love you a little bit more now. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, my daughter can taste the beer in the waffle.
Excellent.
I almost said pancakes.
It's contagious.
There you
Pancakes are better than waffles, for the record.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. It's only because you only think that because you're a fucking weird ass communist who puts sugar on his breakfast foods instead of syrup.
Well, syrup is
Because
based in
syrup's
sugar.
not sugar.
Right, I was just going to say.
It's
tree sugar.
It's
the
liquid
same
sugar.
shit.
Yes.
There's a difference.
No, no, I'm not,
The waffle holds
All
the
right,
syrup better.
Guys, we'll settle this in a naked wrestling match out back or something like that. But let's let everybody else go.
okay.
All right.
All right, if we have to.
Cheers,
Cheers,
guys.
everyone.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.